Hi, it's Tara here from Expect Success Media. And I work with um, Garden of Eden, IG. And what we do is build permaculture gardens and also sustainable environments. So I'm here at Parallel University today. Awesome. Thanks to my very bestie, Jenny. And she's the founder of Parallel University. And she teaches the 5 pillars of practice for growth: meditation, eating healthy, exercising, studying spirituality, and having a passion for life.
Oh, that's awesome.
All right. And this is Elitom Elamin.
All right. Thanks for inviting me.
He's been walking across Africa, okay, from the Red Sea, sort of.
Well, from Cape Town, South Africa, starting at the bottom, going all the way up. Or should I say, up, going to the bottom to Egypt. Either way you take it, going through the continent.
Oh, that is seriously cool.
Right.
And is it really true that you're doing that with like kind of no shoes?
Oh, no, because every terrain is different.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some terrains it's impossible to go that route through the thorns and the terrain not be bad. But when the terrain is good, I mean, I take advantage of it.
Well, I tried that yesterday myself and at the park,
Right.
shoeless, didn't work. So
You got to get used to it. It takes a minute.
yeah. I have for you, I'm sure I left out something, but it's okay. I have for you like 14 questions.
All right.
Okay, these are burning questions for me, and so I hope that you'll enjoy answering.
All right.
Okay, here is number 1. Okay, first of all, let's just clarify that you are this is a world-renowned breatharian. Breatharian. Okay, so you probably want to explain a little bit what that means, but it's kind of has the word breath in it.
Right.
Right? So it's all about the breath. And so I was wondering if you could tell us, a little bit what it is and why it's becoming popular and how it relates to human evolution.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, now here we go. Now, lately, even though I used the word breatharian and got the word breath in it, I also put the word solar breatharian.
Whoa.
Solar breatharian. That even brings it a point home that we are in the sun's electromagnetic field, and the Earth's primary energy source is the sun. It always has been, and it is today. That's the primary energy source, so we wouldn't even be alive. Our atmosphere comes from the sun. That's what we're breathing. Even when you look at water energy, hydro, that's solar energy, and even wind energy is from the sun. So everything we do in our life, yes, because that's dictating the weather, just due to the movement of the sun, how it's affecting the earth.
It evaporates. The whole water cycle is based on
Oh
the
man,
sun.
this is awesome. So what we're doing is we're recognizing this now. And what the solar breatharian journey is, it's a holistic lifestyle. So it's just not one type of modality. Like, even though we say meditation is the foundation, a lot of people meditate, but do they have a certain diet in place? Do they have a certain exercise in place? Do they have a certain thought process in place? And we could go on and on, your family life, your friends, your environment, because all of this is actually bringing energy to you. So the more you can bring positive energy into your life on many different assets like that, you could go longer and longer without the denser foods, because that actually brings over a period of time stress and tension on the body. And when it brings stress and tension on the body, it will change the thought process, because the mind and the body is connected. And they ain't trying to like you make it connected. They are connected.
So the sun is influencing us just like it influences the water and the clouds and the birds and everybody. Absolutely. And we can sort of harness this energy. Absolutely. To, find ourselves.
Absolutely. So the first realization is, as a human being is eating, there's more energy sources you can tap into that's affecting your life. So that's the first wake up. Oh, this is good.
This is good. This is good. We're talking about evolution.
So evolution, which means change, you are actually, with this lifestyle, is taking part in your evolution to transform yourself. In other words, when you make changes to your body and your way of thinking, it changes how the organism responds to the atmosphere. Because notice how some people, they just can't go without 3 to 5 meals a day. But compared to an individual that can. These are both two human beings, and ain't this one got an extra heart or an extra stomach. It's just that they got two different habits.
Wow. And the habits are related to
Energy.
the mind.
Exactly. The mind, and each habit is going through the body. So when they say your subconscious create 95% of your reality, what is the subconscious? Nobody really knows what it is, but the solar breatharian knowledge is saying it is your body. There's a frequency coming from the body. That's what's creating your reality.
So you're saying that the subconscious is directly related to your body, like it's like part of your physical manifestation.
This is your mind. This is your spirit. It's all one. See, holistic just means oneness. And everybody's thinking on a dualistic, breaking things up. Like my spirit is separated from my body. Like my body is separated from my emotions. That's not how it works when you're on this journey. So that's why when a person goes on a diet change, I met a man who said, if you change your diet, what's going to happen is one day your diet is going to stop because you bring it on a new diet change, it's going to have an ending to it. So when that happens, a person usually goes back to their old diet because the old program never got changed.
Up here.
Just going through the body, which is the subconscious. So they're going to go back. They usually gain all that weight back again, or it'll be worse than before because they never changed the thinking through a lifestyle. See, when you change the lifestyle with the energy, it cleans up the last habits, which is a thought, so you can bring in a new thought. And then that's what makes you, you don't be addicted to certain things like you used to. You can easily break it.
Oh, you just said about 10 things that I'm totally interested in in knowing more about. Okay, let me just make sure that.
Oh man, this is good.
I just want to make sure that we got all the picture in here. Okay, good. I think so. All right. So, okay, first of all, let's go back a little bit. I'm just going to sit a little closer to you. Let's ask a little bit about how that relates to overall human evolution. And then I would like to just go ahead and have you define that word addiction.
Oh,
okay,
wonderful.
So 2 things. I really want to, boy, you have a lot of knowledge. By the way, Elitom has this amazing book, right? Your first book. Yes. I got it yesterday. I started reading it, and it definitely, I was so excited. It's okay to be healthy. What an interesting thing to say. It's okay to be healthy. It's okay to be healthy.
It's okay.
You know, that implies that there's like a lot of things that try to keep us from being healthy for whatever reason.
Oh, exactly. See, since we're bringing up evolution, humanity, since you're born into this, the habits got addicted that are unconscious. We're kind of addicted to stress.
I know I'm addicted to stress.
Oh, straight addicted.
I gotta wake it up. Otherwise, I'll just.
Because look how many people you'd have done something good for yourself. You feel better and all this other stuff, and all you got to do is maintain it. But instead, as you're growing, you go back to that thing. You know it's going to stress out the body and the mind, but there's something in you to say, I love it.
Oh, yeah. For me, I remember distinctly thinking this, especially when I was younger. It's like, I want to feel something so I know I'm alive. You know, like, boom, like it hurts. Okay, now I know I'm.
You ain't the only one. All of humanity dealing with that, because when you're dealing with evolution, which means change, there was a time human evolution was dictated by nature.
Right.
But as we grew and we came into this consciousness and it got stronger, we became self-aware beings. Now you have the ability to take charge of your evolution. So what you're trying to do is you was already one with nature, just like all other animals. However, you're trying to transcend nature. Now, what that means is that each habit is under the laws of physics. So actually, it ain't your fault. When you got that habit going through the body, which has its own energy channel, there's sort of like an invisible chain going to nature. So it's basically, it ain't your fault. Your body is nature. It's just going to carry out that certain path. So when you're taking charge of your evolution through meditation.
Oh, that's a lot different.
It's a whole other ballgame.
It's not, it's like I'm taking charge of my evolution.
I'm
it's
taking
a
charge
lot different.
And that's
And
gaining
I'm part of
responsibility.
this evolution.
Yeah.
Way different.
And you're breaking cycles of karma, which is just habits, to bring in good karma, good habits. But you need a power that's going to help you, just as in your own power, because your nature, you're trapped in nature. So that's why meditation is important, because as you're meditating, bringing in a light, what light? That's why we put solar on the front of it. See, in ancient times, there was solar worship, but they made it pagan, like it ain't no good. But that is where the power is at. That's the Earth's primary energy source. And when you're meditating, you feel your electromagnetic field. Listen at that word. We got electricity going through the body, but even our electrical grids to light up the city get their energy from the sun, or they wouldn't exist.
Even if they're using fossil fuels, which we don't approve of.
Same thing.
Yeah,
We
it's
just
still
ain't talking
the
about
sun made those fossils.
of coal. A piece of coal is trapped sunlight. A piece
Yeah,
of wood, you are actually extracting the potential energy in the molecules of the wood,
right,
which is solar.
right.
You can't get out of it.
Same with the diamond. You could put a diamond on there.
So
it
the
would
human-
still be the sun.
So the human being got the awareness now, since we can understand the laws of physics, which used to be invisible, but now they're not. We could describe it. You are taking yourself to connect with that invisible force so it could clean you up on a solar, molecular, atomic level to get rid of that karma.
Okay,
this is
this is
good.
mind blowing. Okay. Oh, and don't we look sort of interesting here?
Oh, yeah.
Us too. Okay. Well, you mentioned something a few minutes ago, which I would like to kind of talk about a little bit more. It's my question number 2, which is why do animals eat when we may not need to, right? They hover in the cycle of life. But then you talk about photosynthesis in your book. It's Okay to Be Happy.
Right.
It is about photosynthesis, like how humans can like activate photosynthesis.
Absolutely.
You know, so it's kind of interesting. It's sort of like we had to eat meat or we had to eat fish, but then now more people are eating just vegetables, and now they're becoming vegetables, kind of vegetarian. I'm not really sure how it works. Please tell us.
All right. So let's go back to the animals. Now, first of all, it's 2023. National Geographic, we used to bring them up from the 70s until now. It evolved big time because we got more technology to track animals, to really see their habits. We learned so much about animals like never before.
I watch them every day on explore.org.
And let's take a bobcat for instance. I didn't know he ate every 10 days. You understand? And once he make a kill, let's take a snake. Let's take it. If you was to see animals eating habits, it ain't like all animals is eating every day.
No, a snake only eats. My snake only ate like once every couple of months or something.
Now, here we go. So when you look at the animal kingdom, that's impressive. Now, we're animals also.
Wow.
Our bodies were born here. We are animals. You know, our body shows up in nature. That was a problem with humanity, too. We thought we wasn't part of nature. But you are. You're trapped in the laws of nature, just like everything else. Now, what makes us different than the other animals, if there's any, we got more neurons firing off in our frontal cortex of our brain. See, we made it this far because of our mind. Our mind is our superpower.
Like, I'm gonna have to listen to this like a bunch of times after we do it because it's so awesome.
Think about it. Everything we use today, we take it for granted, but it's an invention. There was a time, and it wasn't long ago, all of humanity walked without shoes on. There was a time, even clothes is an invention. When you think about everything, our houses is inventions. But we've been here a very long time in our evolution. And we built many different civilizations, some showing up sooner than others, but we did a lot of stuff. Now, since we're here, oh man, because this knowledge isn't new at all. How's this question going dealing with other animals? Now, an animal have instinctual consciousness. In other words, his habits, you can see it. He's going off of the food, shelter, sex, which we do the same thing on an animalistic level, but he's like stuck in that cycle. But since we can understand the invisible laws on how things is working, we came a long way. We have aware consciousness. In other words, when I
like we're aware that we're here. Like
Yeah.
we know, like I'm here. I know I'm here. I can write a poem or sing a song or whatever.
Or when I went out yesterday, put on my clothes and I went in the mirror.
Yeah, yeah. You have an ego.
But the dog ain't gonna go in the mirror and say, I gotta make sure I look good before I walk down the street.
Unless it's my dog.
Right? Unless it's your dog, right? They evolving too.
Yeah.
But that's the little, our consciousness is something else on that type of level. It's aware. So since we got this conscious, now you can understand the laws of physics. Now what the spiritual sciences is talking about, because this is a science. Not only we're building all this science and technology using the laws of physics, because there's rules on how to use electricity or you could get hurt.
Right.
You follow me? There's rules on how to build a car or you could get hurt. So you got to learn these skills. But now, since we learned our bodies is under the laws of physics, you're dealing with thermodynamics. You're close to 100 degrees inside of a healthy body. You're dealing with the gravitational force. You're dealing with electromagnetism.
Wow, yeah.
I could go on and on. Everything in the laws of physics, your body is using every day, all throughout the day.
I just want to say that in this book right here, it talks about the 14 pounds of gravity.
Right, here we go.
Going on you. Gravity, it says right here.
Now, this is
the
key.
force that pulls us to Earth, air pressure from gravity on your body, is about 14 to 15 pounds per square inch.
I'm glad you brought that up. In my breatharian retreats, I taught that. How much do the air weigh? You know, that's how I come at it.
Yeah.
And people will sit there, it weighs something. Yeah.
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 Oh man, this is good. So
it's a weighing down on you, and you get older and it weighs more, and you got to fight. You use your muscles to fight the gravity.
Here we go.
It's like, welcome to planet
So it's
Earth.
like you're lifting weights, actually. So one of the practices I take people through is a qigong, and it's just standing like a tree pose when you put up the arms. And usually a practitioner feel all the stress in their shoulders. But over a period of time, you can hold it longer and longer. In other words, your body is aligning itself, is getting used to the gravitational forces. But the thing about it, not only you get healthier, you get physically stronger because you're actually lifting something.
You know, this is really cool. Because you know what's cool about it? Not only are you explaining it, but you're explaining it so that I can understand that it's a process.
There we go.
Of growing. Right? Like, okay.
Not overnight.
Because I didn't know that. I was like, okay, I know this thing about gravity. I'm trying. But giving me like a viewpoint that I can, if I practice every day, it's going to be different than if I just, you know, practice every year.
Your blood circulation will start changing. Your breathing will automatically start changing. You'll be able to stay up more because you'll get more energy and all of this stuff. This is how you get your energy. So you are taking your body, aligning it with the laws of physics in the process, and it will get stronger and stronger. You will sleep less. That's how you know you got more energy coming to the body. And last but not least, you'll be able to eat less and go longer and longer.
How much of that, okay, just real quick, I guess I have 14 questions, so hopefully this won't be like all day, but it's so awesome. How much of that is a natural process?
It's all natural. It's all natural.
Like, so I don't need to push it or like go to the gym and like
don't
sweat
beat
a
up
certain
on yourself
or anything.
No, the key is to stay consistent, and this actually takes years. Because keep in mind, when we look at food, that habit, that's one of the strongest habits on the planet, food and sex. Here we go. That's the animal kingdom in us. So when you're dealing with that,
it's not wrong.
And it's not wrong. We ain't judging it.
Yeah.
However, if you want to get off of that energy source, though, because that's what it is, it's an energy source, but it just brings a lot of waste with it, a lot of toxicity. So you're just transferring over to another energy source. Sort of like a city that's burning fossil fuels, but they want to change over to a nuclear power plant.
Or better yet, solar.
Or solar. So, you know, see where we're getting at?
Yeah,
and even I brought
whatever.
up a nuclear power plant, but a nuclear power plant, we got that knowledge on how the sun works. See, it still goes back to the sun. It's the fission process, and it's using the fusion process.
And someday it will be that we don't even need the panels, and we don't need to dig anything out of the ground and all that.
It is getting there. And see how humanity is evolving on that? So this is an age we got the most diet changes ever because humanity's exploring. But what the solar breatharian journey is saying, yeah, have your exploration, lighten up your diet, because the more you lighten up, and you're getting that other energy flow and you're breaking up blockages, you'll start seeing health improvements. But the key to it, you don't need to be stuck at a certain one, because your body will talk to you again and say, this feels uncomfortable. And that's where people are making mistakes, because even your health gurus, they might be having a diet that helped a lot of people, even themselves. But then when they start having problems again, they don't speak up because they want to keep their fans, don't want to be wrong. You know, that's human ego again. Just admit it was wrong again. There's another level.
Or it's changing.
It's changing.
It's changing.
So we don't even use the word wrong. It's changing. Your body will change and it'll be able to hold more light, and they need to let go of less food again. It's talking to you.
Which brings me to the next question. This says, please explain prana and how it relates to breatharianism.
Oh, yeah. See, prana is just a cultural word. It's a word they usually use in India, you know, Sanskrit. It means breath. China used the word chi. Japan used the word ki. Africa used the word ka. Today, we use the word life force energy, cosmic energy, solar energy. That's still the same word. And I was just teaching a class this week, you know, and this is the thing about it. I got to break the wording. It's the wording that's messing everybody up. You think prana is something else that's different than today and it's some other energy. It's not. It's actually solar energy.
Right. The life force. It's a life force.
This is what it is. What's giving you life?
Okay, I'm going to put this on pause for 1 second. Here we go. Where we are. Okay, so prana is life force energy, which is awesome. And how it relates to breatharianism is?
And it relates to it because since you're in this ocean of energy, see, because you see the solar breatharian journey is so good to a person who really want to learn it. You are learning about science. You start learning about the electromagnetic field that you live in, radio waves, infrared waves, microwaves, but they're all light. It's all made of the same thing. We got the electromagnetic spectrum. It goes back to the sun. So you're learning frequency, that the radio wave is at a lower frequency, you know, and how it's vibrating, but your thoughts is on that same wavelength. So you are actually projecting your thought in the atmosphere. That's why you're creating your own reality. So it takes all this myth out of stuff, and really you start looking at this, man, I got to learn how to use this vehicle, this vessel. There's a method on how to use this. The mudras, this isn't just to look pretty no more. There's an electrical connection you just made, going to different organs. So you really start getting educated on how to use your equipment. So going back to like a cell phone, I got an iPhone, for instance, and I just use it, you know, just use it. But I got a friend who really know how to use it.
Oh,
One
and
of
so
those
he can do
people.
a whole bunch more
I'm
because
like,
he
you
knows
just-
how to use it
You
better.
just did that with my phone? But again, for him to be like that, to me, that's like an iPhone master. But for him to get like that, that took years, that took time and energy. He wanted to learn it. He wanted to do it. You see where I'm getting at? It was a skill.
Yes, I know. And we all know that it takes at least 10,000 hours.
Right.
10,000 hours of practice
At
to
least.
become an expert at anything.
So you're getting to know yourself again, how you work, how the different moon phases affect you, you know, because you're really meditating, you're getting more sensitive, you're building up your energy. And then when you do eat foods, as you're exploring, you're seeing how it brings on an emotion, changes your thoughts. It does.
I mean, it was weird. I went to Whole Foods on my way here. Secret. I was like, okay, I feel so great because I'm breathing. Right?
Right.
And then I was like, oh, but I have to stop, and because I always do. That would be the addiction. And I just noticed how I was feeling as I was experiencing that, you know, and how I was walking into an environment where that's what everyone does.
Right.
And maybe having a little different point of view and just admiring it. Very interesting.
Oh man, this is good.
Very interesting. And there's a lot of reasons for wanting to hold on to it.
Oh yeah, I mean, being born into it, there's a lot of reasons. On socialism, you might think, you know, social, because we're social creatures, everybody else is doing it. What do I do in my life from then? I've just had a conversation with a person on, okay, I'm staying up longer, but what do I do with my time? You cut that out. What did I do? It took me years to develop on what to do with myself. And now I'm comfortable with it. But that took years.
Oh man, it's so hard. That's so very hard. And also too, I was just going to mention that, comfort. Food is like a big comfort, when somebody passes away, you love them.
Right.
Your mama holds you, gives you the food.
And that's how we're relating it. Now, this is where it gets good. It's sort of like I had a friend who loved to smoke the marijuana weed, to get high, and I didn't get high like that. But at the same time, one day they was going to go get high, and we was talking, and I was smiling. There, what are you smiling about? You always act like you're happy. But as she came back, she said, "Okay, now I see. I thought I was getting high, but it took me out of my high. I didn't get high. Now she had a chance to experience. I wasn't really getting high, it's bringing me down. But she had to go through that experience. So at first, we're looking at food that way. This feels like so much comfort. I need something to grab onto. But the more you work with the light, pretty soon the light is your comfort. And that's actually dragging you down. That's why depression and anxiety and everything else, fear-based frequency come from that, is bringing down your vibration. But when you don't know it, it feels like it's giving you comfort.
Yeah, and we don't really need to tell you that's true, or you don't need to tell me. I can already go, I can check it out for my own self.
That's what's right.
Is it true or is it not true,
And I like how you said that. See, the solar breatharian knowledge is making a practitioner into a scientist. It ain't about believing what I say. Go work with yourself.
Yeah.
When you start working with yourself and keeping a log on how you're actually feeling, and over a long period of time, you're doing tests on yourself. This is the laboratory.
So interesting. Okay, so here is a quote that I would like you to speak about. You don't lack energy because energy is what you are. So what happens is that you go to eat something and you're like, or my mom always taught me, and I remember too, like being a kid, oh, I'm so tired. Oh, I need to eat, I need the calories because I have to keep going or whatever. And then now this is a little bit of a shift up here.
Right.
It's not really so much a shift. It's natural that it's going to come into this part. But now you don't lack energy. Now we're going to shift it to you don't lack energy because energy is what you are. So please explain the spectrum of eating, like meat, heavy foods, and then we're vegetables, and then we're on air. Well, you say sun, but is it air or sun or both, or how does that all work?
Well, it's actually the sun, because the air is made up of gases. We live in the bottom of gases. And keep in mind, even in the different gases, which is objects, because there was a time people thought air was empty. But they say, how do a breatharian live off the air? And there used to be a laugh. Now people ain't laughing because we got more educated. This is actually thick. You live in the bottom of gases. And this movement is, the light is actually as it's hitting the earth, because the further you go up, the thinner the air gets.
Yes, we learned that in school just last week.
So as it's making this journey from the sun going through space, it's actually moving these objects and everything. It's animating everything. I hope I said that right. That's just basics. Basic 101. So that question you asked them when you go on different foods, because I don't even tell a person what food to eat. What I tell them is try eating less. 10% less. Look at what you're eating. 15% less.
Oh, they proved that keeps people to live longer anyway.
Oh, absolutely. That's like basic given right there. There was a woman crying one time about man, I feel so bad when I wake up and la 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 la. And I said, well, what weight did you weigh when you really felt good? And she said the weight, but that was just all she needed to do was lose 5 pounds to be that weight. When she lost a little 5 pounds, she stopped crying.
Whoa.
It was just
wow.
That's all it was.
Oh, I'm so trying that.
Right. Start really looking at it. Then you start maintaining this weight.
I know, because there's so much around it.
Oh, man.
Talk about gravity. It's like gravity. It's way more than gravity. It's like all these thoughts process, and people think this, they think that, and then and they're wondering about this, and they're wondering about that, and experimenting. And
now the mistake people make on the breatharian journey when they first find out about it, they used to go straight into fasting. I'm going to fast my way in. And right there, that's a disaster. That's the number one disaster, because what you're doing is, if this makes sense, this is why we're saying you're meditating. This is why you say you're meditating, because meditation is the way you get the solar energy within the cells of the body.
Okay, whoa. Just stop and explain that. You just said, okay, let me get this straight.
Mhm.
You just said meditation is how you activate the solar cells in your body.
Absolutely.
Did you figure that out or did you read that somewhere? That's incredible.
Well, I did both. I did my research and I figured it out by doing it. That's the real way you're gonna figure it out.
Wow.
Like I had a group this morning, and after we get done, and I always say this, how do you feel now? I feel more energy. I told you this is how you feel. How could that
So
be
for
hard?
breakfast, Elitom does meditation. For lunch, Elitom does meditation. For dinner,
Dinner.
Elitom does meditation. It's
This
awesome.
is real. And you start weighing it. How do you feel? Well, I do feel better. Do you know what took place? Now, at first, a person
Okay,
don't know what
that's the
took
part.
place.
That's the science part.
Now it's the relaxation response in the body because all meditations, no matter what they are, they require two things: get comfortable and get relaxed. Get in a comfortable position and get relaxed. All of them.
Right.
Because when the body start relaxing, that allows the external forces and the internal forces to release. Because once they release the stress and tension in the body, you get more energy. Because it's like a river that had a dam and it's opened up and it start running. So you feel it as having energy.
Oh, wow.
And then that allow the external forces to come into the body because they were blocked before by something. So as everything start melting, like it's sort of like it's melting, this is how you get your energy. So you must master meditation and be dedicated to it.
Yeah, because everywhere stress is unavoidable.
Now, to show you that this is the truth, people sleep. When you sleep, you usually wake up refreshed.
Right.
Because sleep is unconscious meditation. So everybody does
It is
meditate.
for me. A lot of times I try to meditate and I'm asleep.
Yeah. So the body can heal itself, so it can get more energy.
Yeah,
That's
you
why.
feel great.
So everybody meditate every day already because they sleep, and everybody automatically fast all the time.
Yeah, because you don't
you
eat
sleep,
all the time.
Right. When you sleep, you are fasting. That's why you eat your breakfast, you're breaking your fast.
Yeah.
So all of this goes together. So now since you understand this was given by nature, now you're going into it consciously. Let me take a look at this. All right, let me start. You should fast every day. Now they got that thing called intermittent fasting, but I call that intermittent eating. But you should live a life. Most people are suffering from a fasting deficit. You don't fast enough.
Oh yeah, because there's so much food everywhere.
Right, and that's society. This is a civilization of death. It got the temptation all over the place. Your family, your friends.
Yeah, it's
the
like in the Bible or something.
And then we got foods that never existed before. That's addictive. I mean, yeah, you could be hit if you don't understand this. So usually when a person rejects the solar breatharian knowledge, it isn't about do you believe it or not, because it makes perfect sense. It's just that a person feels so trapped they know they can't do it, or they feel they can't.
Or they just, I mentioned it to somebody close to me and they're like, oh, that's impossible. That's just impossible. You're just chasing after rainbows again.
Well, that's what I mean.
But, it seems like what you're saying makes an awful lot of sense.
Everywhere I teach around the world, because I got that track record and I meet those people that come, they don't cry like that no more. Because I made it make sense. It's just saying you have to take responsibility. If you want to know something and do it, you can. You just don't want to, which is honored too.
Yeah, well, you probably don't want to because you just didn't learn enough about it.
Right.
If it's really cool, you probably wouldn't want to.
Or a person still want to play their other life, and that's cool.
Yeah.
You see what I'm getting at?
That does happen too.
That's all it is. So when a person says that, they're just backing up, try to offend where they at.
Okay, I got to put this on pause for a second. All right, we're back. Okay, we're back and we're bad. Good and bad, both the same. Feeling perfectly alive and sustained just as yourself. Are you a new type of being on this earth? And if so, why? Here's my question. Are breatharians like a new birth type of being that's like, are you like secret aliens that, or or something like that?
Well, I will say it is now, because what you're doing is the average person is a earth animal, and breatharian just transform themselves into an air animal. Still an animal. We ain't making it mythical, but you're going more off of the higher frequency forces that's in the air. Because say, for instance, just in this room, there's like 100 volts electricity just in the air. See, that could be proven in the age we're in now. So we got electricity all in the air. So by a person knowing this, and they don't have to go off the earth energy, that is another type of animal than this one. It's sort of like there's two types of crocodiles. There's one crocodile that lives in fresh water, but there's a crocodile in their family that has a certain gene that could go into fresh water and the salt water. All of them can. I hope
so.
Sense.
We're kind of evolving. We're kind of like star seeds that like are like trying to figure this thing out, or
well,
how does it work?
Let's bring it down to Earth. We got this where we call this planet Earth. But
yeah.
But there was a time it was called Terra. That's where we get the word terrain from.
Yeah, Terra.
So we're like terrestrial beings. You're the planet Terra, you're terrestrial beings. So now we got this word called extraterrestrial.
Yeah. Well,
now,
if you're here, aren't you terrestrial?
well, there's times they'll say, because they use it in science, they say you got junk DNA, but that's just saying they don't know what it is or what it does. But there is a lot of things that could be dormant in a person. So when you're coming into the meditation, you got this light frequency coming through the body, you know, from consistency and work. There's certain things that were dormant that are now opening up. So in other words, so if this terrestrial being opened up his extra senses, now he became an extraterrestrial instead of a terrestrial. Now these energies that he's working.
Oh, extra meaning more. Yeah. In this case, like it just means more.
More. So this being is just a different being, but it got more stuff going on internally. So now let's take it further. These energies from meditation actually he's pointing to the sun. The sun is not on this planet. It's an alien energy.
I guess it is.
It's an alien force.
Why, I never thought of that before.
And also all the other forces that's coming to the earth that's giving it this energy. Because we can't say it's not, whether you realize it or not. So those are the alien energies that are fueling the earth. So when you connect with the alien energies, you'll be able to be transformed into an extraterrestrial instead of just a being to the earth. See, we don't need to talk little green men because
we're already them.
Right. And we're in the age of selfies. And I'm like, come on, people, you got all these other selfies on your thing. Why didn't you take a picture of the being you just said you met? All right. Because, you know, I would take a selfie. I'm not down bunking nobody, but I'm a life realist. And if you want to say I'm an extraterrestrial, well, I do work with extraterrestrial forces.
Well, we might have to cut this part out, but I mean, when I saw one, I didn't have any wits to take a selfie. That's for sure.
Well, next time you do that, okay. Put a note on you. So we'll let that one go. Right. So we can be clear. Then I have to change my speech. But until then, everybody else should change their speech.
Okay.
Exactly.
Well, I just remember thinking that and feeling that, you know, it's very natural. Like there's no I don't know, it's so interesting. There's like nothing to be afraid of. Mm-hmm. You know, like right now we're afraid, okay, well, wow, that person, you know, we've been so indoctrinated. That person's color of skin is like gonna freak me out or whatever.
Right.
What's gonna happen when they're blue or green?
Right.
Or you know, I mean.
Well, fear is a big one you brought up. I was teaching a class yesterday, and the 4 things that humanity is really holding down their energies is food, sleep, sex, and fear. These can really drain. They take a lot of energy.
Those things really fire up when you're in grief.
And food actually puts you to sleep. So we're talking about wake up and open up your consciousness. You're going to have to tackle food sooner or later if you want to take this seriously. That's why in all major religions, they do got fasting in there. And that connects you with the divine. What are they talking about?
Wow. So that's right. They do. They have it in every religion.
So I'm just
part of the whole thing.
I'm just fulfilling things that everybody have read, they know, and I'm just fulfilling it. So this isn't new.
Yeah, and it's totally for cleansing and making
purity, so you can get more energy, the energy of God, which is the solar energy. Oh, did I say that? Yeah, this is his primary energy source.
This is fine. Okay, so are we right side up?
Let's
make sure we're right side. There we go. Okay.
You're a perfectionist there. See, to me, it was already good.
That's funny.
Right.
Breath, I know. It's weird. Okay. breatharian is being in non-separation.
Right.
What does that mean?
Oh man. Well, you're bringing on a unity consciousness. You are working on that. So you brought up that fear just now, and it's usually dealing with separation of the unknown.
Okay.
And when you look at the source, and I'm just going to bring up the sun again. There's one sun that everybody need their life on. There's just one, and it's fueling everything. It's even fueling our bodies if you realize it or not. It's just that the average person who's still on food, it's the percentage is lower compared to a person who work and open up their channels. So you do got energy channels. We know this now. So anyway,
You mean through like the chakras and the meridians?
Exactly. And that's in your fascia and all of this other stuff. So the foundation of the physical body, if people didn't learn this in school, is on an energetic level. Could I say this? Yeah, so on the energetic level. So that's why you're working on energy work, but you're taking it to another level. See, breatharian, a person who don't knows who got the skill of not knowing how to eat, not eating is a byproduct of how well you can work with energy. Oh, did I say this? Yeah. It's a byproduct of how well you can work with energy. It's not something you force. It's just showing your skill.
Right, because the whole purpose of eating is to get energy.
Right.
Except that's not really the purpose anymore.
Yeah, and that's humanity's thing. So what?
Yeah, I mean, like it might be for other reasons, like lots of other reasons, like it tastes good or whatever.
So anyway, this one force is fueling everything. So that means, and that goes back to spirituality, religion. They've been saying this, and even science is saying it now. Everything is connected. Everybody got a straight face. We're clear. So you're starting to be able to think like that. So if you're sitting here got an apple that's made of molecules, just like your physical body, how does this hologram supposed to sustain this? You're looking at it differently. So where did the apple get his energy from? Well, photosynthesis from the sun. Well, you got the awareness. Won't you go straight to the sun and leave the middleman alone?
Do you think there's like something in the body that could make us like plants and able to photosynthesize or whatever?
Well, I'll give you an example of one that everybody knows right now. Don't they say you get vitamin D from the sun?
Yeah.
That's photosynthesis.
Boy, if I don't get that vitamin D, I'm like really tired. I'm like seriously tired. And
and it's actually
I get it and I'm like, woo, this is great.
And it's actually called hormone D. It's not a vitamin, it's a hormone. But they call it a vitamin because a vitamin is something that comes outside of an organism that they can't make on their own. Now, why would you be on a planet that you can't make something on your own that you need? We would have been dead a long time ago. So that's kind of like fictional. So, but anyway, if you could get that from the sun, just because nobody ain't tell you, you could get everything else from the sun because it's all energetic. So it's just like when we deal with molecules, the molecule of a piece of wood, and we make a fire out of that wood. Now, when we release that stored potential energy, how did it get there in the first place? The wood used to be a tree, and its molecules, since we could split the atom and get the energy out of it, which is a whole lot, that comes from the sun again. You're made of this stuff. So the average person is, as they're feeding, they're on a chemical, mechanical level. But when you transition yourself, you're feeding off of atomic level.
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's just so easy when you're explaining it.
Yeah, like Einstein said, if you can't explain something easy, you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, if you can't draw it, you don't know it.
Exactly, and we're playing out. It's a health message. That's how you start knowing. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, you don't even have to think about not eating. You just have to think about drinking sun.
Here we go.
Or eating sun or eating sunlight or whatever you want to call it.
And it's the wording that scare people because when they say, I know somebody who don't eat.
Oh, yeah.
That's
freaky deaky.
But if you say, I know a person that feeds off of energy, you see how that's a different sentence?
Yeah.
Okay, now let me check that out. A person who feeds more off of prana. A person, it's how you word it. But when you say that other thing, it's either clickbait, it scares people. Of course,
it's also dangerous.
And it's dangerous when you don't explain it right.
It's dangerous. It's dangerous. Yeah.
We'll die from starvation.
Yeah, yeah. Because yeah, exactly. And I've heard about that. That's very bad. Okay. So here's my next question. What type of meditation, and maybe you already answered it, I don't know, can help you realize that you do not lack. So in other words, we're in this position where we've been told that if we do not do this thing, we're lacking. So we're like, we need it, we need it, we need it, or we think we need it. And that's like aside from the comfort, the taste, and all that whatnot. So, but there's this kind of underlying, like, at least I noticed it today, and I've seen it mentioned before too, like just you lack. You without food, you're going to be in a state of lack. So what type of meditation can we do to like kind of like overcome the feeling of lack, and or maybe we don't even need to focus on it at all?
Well, the two meditations that I really teach around the world to get people there really quick so they can feel their own energy. Because that's what you need to do. If you can't feel your own energy and know it's flowing, there's that separation, that hiddenness is taking place. But the ones that work is the Qigongs. Qigong just means, Qi means energy in Chinese. Gong means exercise, so it's energy exercises. So we take them through Qigong and also the microcosmic orbit. And that's sort of like a meditation dealing with the channels on the spinal cord, because this is the center of your being. This is where you're seeing life from. And you need to open up those channels. And that's actually in the acupuncture charts.
Yeah.
Now, notice that acupuncture got accepted in the Western hospitals. Now, at first it wasn't, because it needed to be proven and stuff like that, but it does prove itself. All it's doing is just manipulating the energy channels in the body so a person can get more relief. But the solar breatharian knowledge is teaching you how to work on your channels yourself. Go heal yourself. Your body has the innate ability to heal itself. A person just has to figure out how. This is what you're learning. Oh, man. So anyway, so the meditations, those are the two right there that I know were really
wait. I only got Qigong, which is
Qigong
awesome.
In a microcosmic orbit. And that got a good name, micro, because you're the microcosm of the macrocosm. We're not separated from the universe either. You were born in it. I always get people, how do I escape the matrix? That I like, well, watch the movie and you let a movie influence your mind. It's not about escaping this. It's about learning how to use it. Everything you need is here. All right. But anyway, that one opens up the channel so you can release the tension and stress in the body and the external forces, because you're already one with it. It just feel like you're separated and alone. You need to open up. That's how you get nourished and fed, in a nutshell.
Okay, I'm afraid that one kind of went a little bit up here, but we'll watch it on the replay.
Yeah.
But I just want to say, I think also too, I might have spaced out a little because I remembered I wrote a book about these two girls, and one is from Earth and one is from outer space, and they both run away from home at the same time, and so they flip places. And so the girl from Earth is going around outer space to all these different planets.
Right.
And on one of the planets, they had like a this is leading to my next question, actually. That on one of the planets they had like this whole, they were kind of breatharians, but they also had like, they took such great care of the rivers and their little streams, and they had like food, and it was awesome. And so this got me to really become interested in permaculture environments, like the one here at Parallel University.
Right.
And so I'm saying this, here's my question. Can you riff on this? Would you be interested in permaculture spaces to grow food, which are living food? Please describe nourishment like this, what I've described, compared to fasting, and how you think it might like be, helpful. So it's not just like, oh, now we're all going to breathe air. Well, we all are on Earth and we're blessed with rivers, which give us water. We're blessed with trees. I mean, what if nobody eats the fruits anymore?
Well, this is a growing process, not just for an individual, but notice that humanity collective, because it's going back to the oneness frequency. Look how far we came as a group collectively. We're doing things today that 20 years ago was unheard of.
No kidding. Oh yeah, that is so
There's
true.
more people are meditating.
Yeah,
more people are changing their diets. More people got time to exercise. So that shows it ain't like this isn't catching on. And permaculture, even though I'm meeting you and I travel around the world, I meet people just talking this all the time. That's how big it is. I see in the backyard. So anyway, and it's going to keep on growing. It's not going backwards. So we are getting there. And the breatharian message is actually spreading itself because it makes so much sense. Why not? Hey, I'm there. And people are doing it. So anyway, as the world keeps changing, we're going to go from phase to phase. There is one phase where it would be nice if we took care of our rivers, we took care of the air, what you created user-friendly for other people and this and that. And we don't expect everybody to go food-free. Not at all.
Yeah,
But
plus you have something to do on the holiday, you know, whatever.
But it would be nice if everybody was more food conscious because it's sort of like a job and they got the group insurance. And I remember one time a lot of people got mad at a guy because he's already sick, but he's sitting there with a donut in the nest. And they saying, when you get sick again and go to the hospital, you're hurting all of us because we collectively got to pay for that insurance.
Right. So if we take care of ourselves,
you're helping everybody else.
Yeah.
I'm helping the world by what I'm doing. It ain't even about talking to you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Just being yourself.
Just being yourself is enough. You're user-friendly with the universe. So we will go through that phase, but even as we go further in the future, there will be a time more and more people will see the benefits and evolve further to want to go food-free because it does take a lot of energy just to be a farmer.
Yeah, it takes a lot of energy, but it's also like we have such an awesome planet where all these things are provided to us. Like, I mean, I can see like living on sunlight and also like enjoying all the pleasure.
Well, we are hybrids. See, because even on this journey, I'm a hybrid. That means if I wanted to go eat something and taste something, my organs still work. You follow me? But I just opened up the other door, sort of like you got a car and you transform that car with a kit. It also do solar energy. But if the car don't have that kit on it, it's not able to do solar energy. It's just using fossil fuels.
Okay, so now is the time when you can explain the fact that you actually do not eat food.
Right.
Like, make it kid friendly, please.
All right. So as you're on this journey, and we was talking today to make it real, as you're getting more solar energy into the body through this new lifestyle, it's the conservation of energy. All right, and this is me. And you're gradually and slowly letting go to other foods. So you might cut your diet the first year 15%, but you're getting more healthier and stronger because you got this other lifestyle. So there was a time I didn't meditate or exercise. There was a time I was overweight. You understand?
No way.
Yes,
You?
overweight, feeling bad, high blood pressure.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so this is the transformation. So then as you're going, there'll be some foods you'll eat, not because you're hungry, it'd be because of a memory, an attachment. So you're going to go through this. Right. Here we go. And I used to eat Salisbury steak and gravy once upon a time. That was my favorite. Then when I made another diet change, it was Fritos and avocados, but you outgrew that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this is work. Now, there's a time you become energetic mature. So I'm energetic mature because I've been on this path 20 years. So I got the skill level, and it don't matter who comes along, and you can test all day long. I don't eat food. You understand? I got the skill. I'm there. That's why I can teach this and talk it.
20 years
on this path.
On the path.
Right.
Okay, now, so it's not an overnight.
Not overnight
thing, everybody.
It is a mythical. And if you choose to eat at a family reunion or something, this is the freedom. Say if you're going to a family get together, you know they all eat. You ain't got to sit in the corner and don't be all alone. You can indulge and enjoy, leave. Your body's going to get rid of it and it'll go back into that state because you got the skill now. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense.
You don't need to beat up on yourself. That's not what it's about. Your body is designed to get rid of toxicity, just like the world, the planet is designed to clean itself up.
It's an evolution.
But what we're talking about on a planet, even on an individual level, there's so much toxicity hitting it all at once. It don't have enough time to process. It is getting over-toxicated. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
From the planet level all the way to the individual human being.
You know, it strikes me for a moment to think about, like, let's say we're saying, oh, we want free energy.
Mhm.
Oh, we want solar, or we want an answer. We want to end fossil fuels, right?
Mhm.
Maybe one way I could do that is just like getting the free energy myself.
Yourself.
Like I have complete control. I am like a sovereign white girl. You know what I mean? It's
Mhm.
like I can do it. I can
Right.
do something. Maybe I'm not going to do.
Instead of sitting in the corner crying, we need, won't you go do?
Yeah,
If you want to
go
change the world,
do
change
something.
yourself.
Change yourself.
This is what we're talking about.
That's be very interesting. That's
Oh,
very
man.
interesting. So when we get the permaculture spaces ready, you'll come visit.
I'll come visit.
Because that's going to be what we're making at Garden of Eden. Is we're making example. We get example for all people to come
Right.
and see. Oh, this is how it is. This is how the new world is going to be like.
Right, and I'm clear.
Yeah.
And like we said again, we're already here actually, because that talk is being talked all around the planet. That's the culture we're in. It is on many different levels. And I'm saying this because I'm traveled.
Oh my God, I'm getting tingly. I'm so happy.
It's talked everywhere. They
My
like people
pigtails are going to start to fly. Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Everybody's clear. We know the effects of what money can do, poverty can do. We know that now.
Yeah.
And it don't need to be.
Yeah.
We know this.
And it's beautiful to hear you say that after you travel so much.
Yeah.
In the great land. Okay, so that brings me to my next question. How many breatharians or people on the, I guess we could say on the path,
good
do
question.
you think there might be on the earth right now at this time?
Well, in 2015, that's when I went to San Francisco with other group of breatharians who were, kind of famous on the planet. And we got together and did a festival 2015. And back then I said in 5 years from now, it's going to be all over the planet. And that was the first time that frequency came. And it was a good, people in the hundreds. Some thought it could have been bigger, but to me, that was great. Because it's just starting. Everything starts out small. So then, as I went on my journey, spreading it different places everywhere I went, it started generating more and more people. And then they started other festivals over the World Pranic Festival over in Italy in 2016. And I was in the hundreds. People came from all over. And that was a good thing. But then the following year came around. It was double. And then the following year it just kept growing and growing. So all around the world, and we got social media now, because me myself, I affected millions of people by myself.
Oh yeah.
And it's just growing and it's not going to stop. So, but the people who's actually practicing it, it's in the thousands, if not tens of thousands.
That's really interesting. Which brings me, you said 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to add in one little quick question here, which is this. We had this pandemic that basically traumatized everybody.
Right.
On whatever level, the belief doesn't even matter. If people are your beloved ones passing away, believe me, it's very difficult. And so my question is, like, do you think that you could be more protected from viruses? I don't know if we're even allowed to say this, but if we can't talk about it on the TV, that's okay.
Oh, we can.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what do you think could be like, it could be like a way to help you be more protected? We'll just say like help you to like increase your immune system or whatever.
Because the main thing that they was talking about was the immune system from a small child to an older person. That was the main thing.
Yeah, that's right.
And to strengthen your immune system is basically living a healthier lifestyle.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it in a nutshell. That's basically what they're saying. A child's body is weaker. It ain't fully developed yet. So it could get affected faster. And an older person, they could be affected more. Somebody in between, and especially a person who got real good health lifestyle, they got their percentages higher.
So it's not like mom would say, oh, let's not eat. Mom would say, hey, let's go get some energy from the sun. Let's go dance out in the sunshine. Let's go have a good time. Right. Let's play in the sun.
Right.
To encourage the children and practice breathing. I always teach my students.
Oh, yeah. And a lot of this stuff was all natural, because every spiritual practice is actually showing you how to do something naturally. Think about it. Every spiritual practice, when you're working with Tai Chi, you're using but you're learning proper body structure because it gives you more energy. You know how the teacher used to say, sit up in school?
Yeah.
So you're learning even how to walk when you're doing Tai Chi. You know, you're learning how to walk.
How to have a posture.
So you can have better energy flow.
Yeah.
You're learning you start learning to sleep in positions. You start learning, even what I did have a car, keep my body a certain way so the energy could keep flowing. So you just start being real sensitive with how your body reacting with the environment, because it's always going to work with energy regardless. Some people will drain you, a real negative person, you're around them, you start getting sleepy. Yeah, even down with people.
Or you get a stomach ache.
Or there's some people you'll be around and will give you more energy, just being around them.
Like you.
Everything is energetic. Yeah. Oh, man.
Oh, okay. Okay, so here's the next question. Okay, this is sort of a nice question. Please detail more about the natural bliss state.
Oh.
How this is obtained and how eating less is a byproduct of being in love with everything.
Here we go, bliss. And it does exist. Now, we're in this age too in spirituality where we're using the word energy, frequency, and vibration. Have you ever heard that I need to raise my vibration? And
yeah, people are saying that all the time.
Do you feel that frequency over there? But I ask people the question as I go to retreats, what is a frequency and what is a vibration? And you know what? 99.9% of them don't know what it is.
99.9% of people, parents and children, do not know what mathematics is.
Here we go.
I had to write a whole video. Okay, anyways, go ahead. So they don't know, we don't know, really. Well, what is vibration?
And if you don't know something on what it is, how can you affect it or know how to raise it or lower it?
Right.
But of course, or you'll just be in this robotic lifestyle, beating up on yourself, don't know which is which. But anyway, all right, when you're dealing with an object, it's made of molecules, and they're actually, molecules don't touch, but they're moving.
Right.
And as it jiggles back and forth, like even in the air, the gases in the air is jiggling back and forth, so they're vibrating. So that's what they mean by vibrating. It has its own center, just like our spinal cord, and the energy to go to its furthest way direction this way and its furthest direction this way and back. That's one vibration.
Right.
All right.
One wavelength.
And we use that as a sine wave in electronics. And where they get that from? Yoga. So they got the Sushumna and they got the serpent going. That's a sine wave. You're vibrating from your center.
Whoa, I never thought.
This all goes hand in hand. All science and technology is the science that comes from the human body. You can do the same thing.
Wow.
Now, the frequency is how fast it's going back and forth.
Okay.
One is going slower, like a radio wave. It's long, but it's slower. So it has a longer frequency, but it is vibrating. It's a longer vibration. But then when you get to a gamma wave, it's made of the same thing, but it's going faster and it's more closed together. So that has a higher vibration, higher frequency. So what you want to do is speed up the molecules of your body. You want to, instead of them being congested, when we feel the stress and tension, that's why we keep saying loosen up the stress and tension. As you're loosening up, that means the vibration is going faster. When it's more together, it's going slower, and you feel the stiffness, pain.
Yeah, it's hard for it to move.
So now I need to raise my vibration to loosen it up. So that's why you start stretching, breathing, so you can raise your vibrations. Things are loosening up. So they're jiggling back and forth. So your frequency range raises.
Wow. Wow.
Somebody just need to explain the science of it. So a breatharian, what they did, just a normal person, they understood what a frequency and vibration is. So they start living that type of lifestyle to keep it moving a lot faster than before.
So when it's moving a lot faster, it's a higher vibration and you also have more energy.
That's why they say the number one disease in America, let's just say that, is a sedentary lifestyle.
Right.
You're sitting down too much, not really doing a lot, but you're also consuming, you know what I mean? So the vibration is getting more congested, it's going slower.
It's
so
congested.
It's congested. Totally... So you're more susceptible of having a disease, disease.
Yeah.
See, it is simple as we're explaining it, but this is what's happening. So that person who's living that sedentary lifestyle, I need to raise my vibration and frequency. So they get up one day, they take a walk. Do you feel better? Yeah, I think I do. But over a period of time, gradually and slowly, I got more energy than before.
Oh, wow. So that's beautiful because that means that, you know, you don't have to like go to the gym and freak out and sweat a certain amount and
Right.
and you don't have to put yourself down and you don't have to like have like a million goals and all up on a chart
Right.
and do all this stuff. Just start.
Do what you can. And that
Do
same
what you
person
can.
probably used to eat a whole pizza. Now he don't
Yeah.
need to cut out the whole pizza. He'll start eating half of the pizza.
Right.
And then got his routine.
And he didn't even have to think about it. It's
Don't
just
even got to
when
think about it. Then pretty soon he start craving to walk more instead of sitting there.
yeah.
So he raised his frequency, his vibration.
Okay. 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 Get to the bliss part. Bliss.
So now, and this
You're doing great.
and this comes guaranteed. How do you know a person raised their vibration? Now they say in this realm we got 4 bodies. Now we know we got one body. But the 4 bodies they mean is your physical body. We all know we got this. Your emotional body,
Right.
your mental body,
Mhm.
and your energetic body, which they say is your spiritual body. We just use that word energy now. But anyway, those 4 bodies. But usually for the average person, in their mind, the physical body is doing one thing, their emotions is way over here because they think it's separated. Their mental thinking is over here, and their energy is all thrown off.
Right.
That's what's happening. So what you're doing is you're aligning your 4 bodies. Because remember earlier what I said? When you see my conduct and the way I carry myself, you're also seeing my emotions. Because my emotions is my physical body. They're in it. Again, my mental body is in. So that's why if your body's more lightened up, it's harder to make you angry if you have less stress and tension on the body.
Right.
Oh, are we saying this? So that shows also how the energy or the spirit is coming through the body. Because it's the ultimate or the foundation that's actually coming through the body. That's why they say this is the temple of God, and God is in us. It's just that energy, that's the foundation of you. That is God. It's one with everything. So you want to get that flowing a lot more better to equal out the other bodies. And when that equals out where there's a good, strong flow, happiness, joy, bliss, and peace automatically takes place. Now, how do you know this? Let's go to the second part. And you will have little aches and pains in the physical body, and you will have good clarity of thought. That's guaranteed. Oh man, are we saying this? And notice I ain't say no aches and pains, only I said little or no aches and pains.
Like cause over your own aches and pains.
Right.
Like you know what's happening, so you can actually be cause over your aches and pains. Oh, I have an ache and pain, or oh, I have this owie, or oh, I have this funky thing, or whatever.
But at least get it at a certain degree that you know is whatever, you're raising your vibration, but it's different than it was before. Before you didn't know what was taking place. We blame the doctor, we blame the government, we blame the food industry. But no, you took responsibility. You went ahead to raise your frequency of vibration. Nobody could keep you from doing that.
Wow, my mind is getting blown, and I'm thinking about how, you know, at the headwaters of the Sacramento River up there in Mount Shasta, there's like this water that comes out of the ground.
Oh yeah.
It's like blowing my mind. And I mean, I drink this water and I'm like healed, you know what I mean? And I'm just thinking like, you know, what about water?
Oh, well, here we go again. And I always tell people this, and I give them this. There's water in the atmosphere for number one. You can feel the moisture right now. And your body produces water.
Yeah.
It produces water. It produces it when it needs it. That's people sometimes who started fasting. They say, why am I peeing so much and I didn't drink anything? Well, your body's trying to remove, they dry fasting, mind you. But it could be water that the body stored depending on the person. But also when it needs to move something, it makes water. And they got new research now talking about how the melanin molecule is just as powerful as the chlorophyll. And it could actually separate the hydrogen from the oxygen molecule and back and forth. I mean, this body is amazing. It's just that we downplayed it for so long. But where we at now, if you really go to the major universities, because all of them is doing work with frequency and vibration of health. And when you start getting a collection of all this stuff, you'll be saying, this was in my face all the time. And all it is getting stronger and stronger.
H2O, you're saying your body can like bring oxygen,
Or it's just
hydrogen
like,
together to make water.
it's just like our bioplasma. Plasma is just another word for water. You're made of 70% percent of water. But that's like a gel-like crystalline substance in the body, that you already have. It's the fourth state of water, but it just don't stay there. It replaces itself. It does it on its own from the biofield. You see how this knowledge is just common? So the more you lighten up text, let's just take people who fast, because we got a lot of fasting videos out there. About the third or fourth day, they all kind of say the same thing. I was less hungry and I wasn't thirsty. You'll hit a stage just fasting, and you will get to that state. But keep in mind, fasting and living on energy is two different things.
Yeah, okay, once again, do not stop drinking water. It's very good for you.
Right.
Drink the water, drink the water, drink the water. At some point after 20 years,
Think
like
about
this gentleman right here,
Right.
maybe you won't need to drink so much water because your body will be used to processing.
Thank you for putting that warning out.
Yeah.
You got to tell people this, because they want to jump from
yeah.
here to here, and that's not
Don't do
reality
it.
on any skill.
Yeah, that's not right. That's not even what it's about.
Every
And not
skill.
only that, it kind of puts a whole bad vibe on the, yeah, let's just not
All
go
you're
there.
going to do is mess up the whole art.
Yeah.
This skill. Stop. Grow first.
Grow, learn about your body and how
Oh man.
I never, the reason why I was in a state of shock though is because I can't even believe it makes sense though. H2O, like your body could
produce that, just like
produce
nitro oxide. That's
nitrogen oxide is definitely
nitrogen,
necessary.
oxygen, and that's necessary. So it's more than just you need oxygen to breathe. No, you need all the mixture of gases in order to live. They're all doing something. And your body's putting them together when it's needed. Oh man, we got to know this. This is what we mean by dormant.
This is really, really cool. It's making me be in love with everything. Breatharian is not a goal.
Not a goal.
It's a gift of the universe.
It's a gift of the universe.
Riff on that.
It's not a goal because, and I know people hate to hear this when they first come to me, because I want to be a breatharian. I say, first of all, you're not seeking to be that. You're seeking to connect with the light. Because it's the light on how well it's coming through the body that's going to dictate it. So it's up to, and the light, I don't want to talk spooky or religious, but it is a force that is going through your whole body, and it kind of knows you more than you know yourself. So it's cleaning up stuff that you might not even see.
Wow.
Oh man, that's why you're submitting to it. Yeah.
So you're not forcing something.
No.
You're not doing something.
No.
You're yielding to the gift that's coming to you that's free.
That's free.
Like I think that's the real problem with free energy. Like people can't conceive, how can that be that it's coming from a crystal or
right,
or it's coming from nowhere?
Right.
It's coming from nowhere? How can it come from nowhere?
Here
like that's completely different than anything we ever learned in school.
Exactly.
Not to put down school. Okay? School is okay. We're just gonna have a new kind of school, okay?
New kind of thought process.
Yeah,
new idea.
Yeah, new idea. Like, we thought the world was flat, we thought that people were different if they were different colors. We thought a lot of things that we later have discovered, and that's what science is all about.
And a lot of things we've been taught already, but you haven't thought deep enough into it. Like Einstein gave the beautiful equation E equals mc squared. Now, again, everybody heard it, but if I was to ask every individual, which I did that, they don't know what that means. But but for the breatharian knowledge, that's what we're working with. It ain't changed. He even came up with the formula for the laser, but the laser was created 40 years after. He never seen it get created, but the formula was there. So it's the same with this knowledge. It's like the blueprint was already there. Somebody just had to pick it up to manifest it. It was already here, dealing with free energy, how the human. This is where we got spirituality from before it became a belief system. It was a science first. People were glowing, had the halo, because your brain uses the most energy of the body, they would just give you a diagram of how the body's supposed to be when it's using free energy. Oh, did I say this?
Yeah, you can say that. I don't think we're gonna get in trouble. Speaking of which, is breatharianism, is there any attacks on breatharians, or is it pretty, it's pretty?
Oh, see, now, when it first came out back in the 90s, that's where it really started heating up through different people, and it was attacked at first. Some supported, some attacked. Now it's not attacked at all, because it's sort of like what had to be done was, as the external technology increases, also our way of thinking increases. So I found out when I did one retreat, man, the younger generation could actually is picking this up more.
It's because of school.
Uh-huh.
So sometimes people say school is no good, but you know what? School is actually excellent. It's very important.
Yeah, because I showed them, gave them examples of, say you got your computer and you want to get a new application on it. So I was talking to them on that level, because that's what you're doing with this knowledge. First, you need the knowledge. Go get the education of what a breatharian is. You know, you try to do it on your own and think you don't know what it is. And I get people to come to me and say, you are totally off. This is what you need to
buy the book.
This is what you need to do. Right. And you will have some type of improvements. And your goal shouldn't be eating or not eating. And the reason being is how they say, the yogis used to say, don't chase the power. Let the power come to you. See, the power, you can't force the power to come to you. You can cry till you blue in the face, because the universe don't give you what you want, to give you what you need. But if the vessel's in the right position, and that's the right vessel for it, then those higher forces are going to be attracted to it. That's just the way it is.
That is very, very, very beautiful. That is very beautiful. It's good.
I had to learn, man. I had to learn.
It's very, very, very good.
And you should be proud of yourself if you are eating half what you used to. You got more energy, and you feel you need to be this still, and you're still beating up on yourself. You still wasted time. You can't get this time back, because time is your greatest resource that's non-renewable.
In this body.
In this body, right.
Please explain more about life force energy healing and nourishment. This might be a little overkill, but if there's anything else, I think we're on almost the last question.
Well, life force energy healing and nourishment is the same thing. Because the more you get healed, the more energy you have. How should I say? And not only you have the most energy, you sleep less. All of these benefits come with it. But that's why when I took people through a practice today, I had to tell them what just took place. As everybody's feeling good after we did all those stretching and bringing the energy through the body. And I said, guess what? Y'all just ate. They said, yeah, you just ate.
It's a new type of energy consumption.
So not only healing took place, because everybody was a little stiff at first, healing took place, life force healing, and life force nourishment took place at the same time.
All right, let me make sure that we're still recording. I hope everybody heard everybody, and we're hearing everything, and it's going good. And I think I had one last, I wrote it down. Let me just remember a little bit. Yeah. I think this whole conversation has been just absolutely wonderful. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. Yesterday, I started reading your book, and it's really, really good. Okay. What's it called again?
It's Okay to Be Healthy. And I also got another one called Photosynthesis, Human Photosynthesis 101.
That's my next book. Okay. So you can get it as an ebook or a regular book. But the point is that it definitely shifts your reality. And that's a good source. It's like you have to find the right source and steer clear of it, wrong sources. But you don't even have to pay attention to that. Just focus on the right sources and getting more accurate information. Okay, great.
Oh, this is good.
And I'm just thinking, you know what? I'm at the end of my questions here. It's Tara here. and I am from Expect Success. And I work with Garden of Eden IG, and we are building permaculture gardens and geodesic domes. And that's all for the purpose of teaching people information so that they can enjoy the new world.
La la.
We are here at Parallel University with Jenny, and we're focusing on the 5 pillars: meditation, eating healthy, exercise, studying spirituality or knowledge, I guess, spiritual knowledge. It's all one, as you've said.
Mhm.
And we have a passion for life and living. Before we end off, is there anything else that you would like to say, Elitom?
Well, those 5 pillars said it all. Those 5 pillars is actually the breatharian journey. But instead of just saying it to sound good, really start making it a myth to reality. This is good.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
It's been awesome. We're getting energy from the sun. All right. All right.
Oh, that was good. Hey, doggy.